Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Dean. I will speak for Fernando today because even though he's smiling and has a cherub-like face on, his cheeks are extra puffy today because if you haven't been following, he's just back from getting his wisdom teeth pulled out that everyone has done when they're like, 15 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
So he's 22 now. He's not 22. But anyways, before we dig deep into the show, as always, Okay, along with being on too many painkillers, he pressed the wrong button, so we'll just skip ahead. And it's welcome to the weather. Today, according to Fernando, what he whispered in my ear, oh so nicely, it is going to be 70. It was 78 with a high of 88 today. Mm-hmm. So today is a little bit nicer. We've noticed this because I was keeping the door open. Yesterday, I ended up closing it because towards the middle of the day, it was like, screw this. It's pretty nice. Let's see what the rest of you guys have been feeling. Hopefully the weather is starting to, kick back. Look at that, Springfield, Massachusetts. Not the one where Bart Simpson lives or pets are going missing. Dave, checking in, 63 with a high of 75. Howdy, how you doing? Good morning from Lake City. That's a drive. Texas checking in, 76 with a high 97. Wow, finally breaking under 100. Good job there. 69 in sunny North Carolina with a high of 82. Jeffrey says, good morning. Currently 70 sunny in Greenville, South Carolina, expecting 87 degrees today. Fantastic. Good morning from Arizona, land of the sun. Any new Rockford Fosgate news? None that we can talk about. Come on. We'll tell you everything we need to know in just a month and a half when we go to SEMA. We'll show you everything new that's coming out. And there's some. So there's actually a lot. But anyways, Jason. Hello from Arkansas, 72 degrees with a high of 96. What's up, man? Hello, Greenville, South Carolina. I was just up there. Okay. Hello, everyone. South Carolina. A lot of guys from South Carolina today. Very nice. 57 with a high of 68 in upper the Pacific Northwest. Another 600 yards of concrete in the dam. Speaking of the Pacific Northwest, even though our good friend Matthew Palumbo has left the Pacific Northwest for, I believe, sunny Arizona, he will be here Tuesday. Mm-hmm. So we'll be having him live on the show Tuesday night. I'll put up a cool little thing, but he'll be here and we'll be talking about all the new stuff. So we'll have the altitude amplifiers, maybe some inside secrets as far as what's coming out. I don't know, but we'll have a lot, and it'll be Tuesday night. So get excited for that. Detroit checking in, 65 with a high or low. Wait, okay. Detroit is 60. Yeah, okay. It's going to be 80 today. Good morning, Brad from Modesto. How you doing? Florida weather and humidity. I mean, it's humid. It's always humid, but I mean, it's not bad. 85 for a high today. Having your wisdom teeth pulled sucks. Yes, it does. It sucks a lot, and it gives him puffy hamster cheeks. So it's okay. It's okay. He's just gonna smile through the pain. 74 with a high of 95 in Phoenix. Weather in Arizona, 88, no humidity. This is true. Although they had someone was telling me they had 35% humidity that they thought they were just going to die. Ooh. I was like, oh, okay. Cloudy in East North Carolina, 83 with a low of 63. Man. And of course, Mrs. Amy Gilroy checking in. Connecticut, high of 75. Currently, it's 68. And for those who don't know, if you'd like to know more about the stories we're about to just blow up onto you, you can head over to See Outlook. There are links in the description. We'd like to thank her for doing her job so that we can then take that information and do our job. Thank you, Amy. Modesto, currently 59 with a high of 87. Oh, that sounds beautiful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't that way when we were there. Huntsville, Alabama, checking in. It's going to be 90 today. That sounds about right. Good morning, Sean. What's up? How's it going, buddy? Okay. So with that, let's dig into the news. We got a bunch of stuff for you. no motorcycle stuff this time. So you guys will all be happy. There's no motorcycle news. It's fantastic. But before we dig too deep into this, let me pull this up. This one. For those of you guys that don't know, we've been talking about it. October 12th in Birmingham, Alabama. Yours truly, me, myself, Fernando, Chris Vera, Hi-Fi Vega, and hey, you know who else might be coming? Sage. He's 2 hours away. He's like, dude, I'm coming. So, along with Brian Mitchell, Jeff Smith, and a slew of others, the world-famous tuner Jeffrey Held with a D. Anyways, come on out. We'll be there all day. We will only be there on the 12th, which is a Saturday. We'll be there from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., rocking it out the whole day. So if you're in that area of the world, swing on by on Saturday and come say hi. We'd love to come on by and say hi. All right, so we got some new product news. Let's jump right into it. JL ships universal stowaway subwoofer. So this is kind of funny, and actually the article reads funny because they admitted that they've missed the ball on this. Like for some reason they never came out with this thing, which I find humorous. You know who's got a badass version of this though?
Who?
Memphis.
Really?
The Memphis version of this thing is incredible. It's got passive radiators on it, down-firing subwoofer. It almost looks like a version of like Steve Meade's towers that he has that have like the 418s or whatever it is. That's just big passive. Anyways, it almost looks like that, but it's not because like I'm just trying to give people a visualization of it. But dude, when I was in Canada, they had that thing hooked up and they were beating the hell out of it. I was like, holy crap, what is that? Because it just didn't make sense because it's not really that big. So if you're interested in something like this, JL has one. But if you'd like one that you and I can both afford, you might want to check out the Memphis Audio one. Not to take anything away from this because JL fans will be JL fans. And they've been waiting for this. They're going to buy it. They do say that, along with boats, which was probably the primary reason for this, seems how there's a marine display in the background. But there is a car. They're talking about, like Broncos and Jeeps and stuff like that. And the only one caveat I have is that typically those guys all right, let me pull up the picture Fernando's showing here. So they show it in the back of the Jeep, bolted down. I don't know. We'll see. Jeep guys are funny. But it comes at a 10, it comes at a 12. If this is something you're interested in, you've been waiting to spend money on one of these through JL Audio, you're there. The Memphis thing is bigger because it is made for a boat. So, but it just hammers. Okay, moving on. But not that. What am I doing here? This one. That's us. There's it is. Hit the right button. Okay, so Grom introduces amp interfaces, amp link, amplifier retrofit interfaces. Okay, so they're going to Knowledge Fest, which is happening this weekend. We are not there, obviously. I almost wish I would have known about this sooner because I might have just gone to learn more about this because I'm very interested to see what this actually is because we know there are companies overseas that are doing these things outside of like PAC with Amp Pro and iData with AR and NAV TV with the Zen modules. There are other companies out there that do this kind of thing. It's just interesting to see like what these specifically are because they mentioned like they're going to have Honda and Acura along with Toyotas and stuff like that. And these aren't going to roll out until December. So we're months, like they say by Christmas, which I think is funny because it's like, okay, sure. I would love to get some more information from these because it's very limited. And there again, going to Knowledge Fest would definitely have done that. Oh, well, it didn't. So I could leave today. No, I won't. Okay. I'm interested to see what this is. Is it going to be great? I hope it is going to be great. It's a solution. Really what it comes down to when it comes to these amp link style pieces or what we call amp pros is that the manufacturers making them have to build them faster. Okay, they have to put more resources into making these things. And we know that's not the case because they have other things that they're trying to do. Waiting 4 years for interfaces to come out isn't going to work. We need these things sooner in order for us to continue forward. This is like we were talking about last week when we were talking about the A to B piece for the Harley. Is this something where small individuals groups of buyers are going to have to get together and start funding these things, because our parts companies that we've relied on for years have decided that they're going in their own direction and leaving us to the, kicking us to the curb. Is that how this is going to go? And if so, what does that look like for the future? Because I know, like in 2025, Ford is coming out with a new A to B system, which means the current A to B system is not going to work. So who's working on an update for that? We know pretty much nobody at the moment. Hopefully somebody is, and they haven't talked about it, because that's a big part of the business. Fords typically make cars that sound like crap. So in Honda, for God's sakes, it's like number one selling mid-sized car, and we're still waiting for something that works correctly. We have a piece, but it's less than what we want. So we'll just have to wait and see. Is Grom going to throw themselves in the towel and be a Me Too company, or are they going to be a forward-thinking company that's actually making parts that we need? So Grom makes interfaces. So that's they've just always made interfaces. So they're just an interface company. I think they're just a remanufacturer. Don't quote me on that, because everything I've seen from them is like, okay, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how this all kind of plays out. We're hoping that it turns out to be something good. I'd love for someone else to throw their hat into this genre and maybe take the reins and drive forward into the sunset, and we can all go with them, because it's a great place to make money for sure, because we need these things desperately. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. In this same light, as we know, the NAV TV deadline is fast approaching as far as when the change of hands is going to happen. Hopefully we'll get an announcement from them soon as far as what the future looks like for that product, because that's something we don't want to see go away. And rumor has it that there is somebody that's acquiring the company. So we'll find out soon enough, hopefully, because it is September, and by October, we should hopefully know something. So we'll have to wait and see what happens there. But moving on. Oh my God, Pioneer introduces flagship receiver. That's kind of a good look, by the way. The picture that they captured, that's just, the sentiment there is perfect. Like, okay. For those of you that are big Pioneer fans, you'll be happy to know Pioneer is introducing their new flagship radio. And you'll also be happy to know it's pretty affordable as far as the grand scheme of things go. It's a 10-inch touchscreen. It has, okay, so here's the best part. One of the things I, of course, have been advocating for these manufacturers to do for years is talk about the processing speed in the radios, because that's an important thing. Being able to touch a button and have it do something, well, that has to do with the processor. Laptops have been sold for years on the fact that they have fast process. The processor that's in here, it's got a dual core 2, 17,000 process, all that. I'm not a computer guy, guys. I just go to Apple, buy an expensive laptop, and move on. My point is that I've been trying to get these guys to talk about their processing speed, things that, okay, because they all, when you took the most high-end radio and the most basic radio and you compared feature for feature, they were identical. But we know they're not. So, hey, let's talk about things that matter. So this is spec'd out like a high-end laptop, which is fantastic. It looks like it's going to be pretty nice. As far as, oh, there you go. Click on it. So yeah. So we got a single DIN chassis. Pioneer's had that for a while. Zero little flushy thingies, got buttons on top, some hard buttons. Anyways, for those of you that like Pioneer, you're going to be happy to know you're going to have access to this thing soon. And if you'd like to know some of the features that it has, just head over to Pioneer and check it out. One thing that it does have is they're integrating in with CarPlay and Android Auto a little better. So they're going to have a new little side screen, which they introduced in the cheaper radio they came out with a couple months ago. But yeah, so here it comes. Oh, and yeah, it still has the funky emergency brake thing that you got to do. And as of right now, there really isn't a bypass for it. So, because they changed that again. Way to go. Way to make people want to buy your stuff. Make it impossible to use. In the big screen world, RVDFL ships the 15.6-inch giant radio for your Chevy pickup truck. Now, a couple unique things about this because people always say, "Oh, is it just an Android radio?" Here's the deal. It's just a screen. Okay, so it actually just plugs in. You pull out the factory screen, you plug this in. The back end is still the same. Okay, so this is just an add-on screen. This has been done before by Rosen. They used to make a upgraded screen for the Mustang. If you bought the Mustang and it had the little tiny 5-inch, 3-inch screen, you could buy the Rosen screen. You'd unplug the Mustang factory screen, plug this thing in, and you were good to go. Didn't add preamp, didn't do anything of that. Just gave you a big screen. This is the same thing. Now, of course, it does have an Android back end to it, which will give you lots of features added to the screen. But as far as like this being like a link swell replacement or something like that, that's not what it is. It's just so that you can easily pull out your factory tiny little screen up top and put this big screen in place of it. It does have a retail of what, like $2,000. So it's like a laptop. It's basically a big laptop to go into there. So yeah, we'll see. Something like this, like we've done it before. He's, of course, going to come out with some more as times go on. If anybody does get one of those, let us know how you do with it. Because I don't have a truck, and I don't think Rich is going to send me one. I could ask, though. I don't want to ask. Okay. Now, with that being said, one last thing in the news. Excess power. Okay, there's more than this. There's a talking point. We're going to get to the talking point since we got most of the new product out of the way. Acquisition in the news is Excess Power. Parent company buys Lithium Pros. This, I think, is great. I mean, Excess Power, great company. They basically make the battery world. So, I mean, when it comes to this, I think it's a good move for them because, let's be honest, lithium is kind of a scary thing, and we need somebody at the helm of it that knows what they're doing. The DIY world for lithium really doesn't bode well for retailers because we don't want to put experimental batteries into people's cars. So a company like Excess Power getting involved and taking over and doing things that aren't experimental is kind of nice because, you know, we have to be able to warranty things and also make sure the cars don't burn to the ground, which is kind of important. And I know I'm not a battery guy, so this will be cool. But great guys, buy another company, love it. However, moving on to the talking point, as I said, SEMA. Passenger cars on road now average 14 years old. So basically what it's saying is that people are keeping their cars longer. And there's a few factors involved in this. And this is where you guys get to chime on and tell us how old your car is and whether or not you've decided to upgrade your car, keep your car. So one of the big factors in this is that the average price of the car is just shy. The basic car is just shy of $50,000 for a car. In like 2021, there was 7% of the cars on the road came in at under 20,000, 7%. Now it's 0.7% of the cars on the road new cars come in at under, like, so the cheap car market is dead. It doesn't even exist. And my thought on this was, you can just nod your head because I know talking hurts. My thought on this is that why make cheap new cars when we can just sell used cars? So make more newer cars that cost $50,000. And then in 3 years, when they go to trade that in, that becomes our inexpensive car market. Because we're making cars that last longer now. So it's not like a 3-year-old car or a 6-year-old car or even a 10-year-old car is a piece of crap. It's a nice car still because we're building these things to last longer. So I think some of the logic could be, why build an inexpensive new car when you can just have a higher end used car? Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. All right. So let's see. The announcements from Nav TV at CLUK this morning. Shouldn't give you a heads up. All right. We're going to stop here for a second. Fernando has it loaded up. Thank you, Amy, for letting me know that. All right. Here we go. Let me get rid of this. Hide. Afternoon. Details. All right. Don't roll too fast. All right. Let's, Tony, if I have Nav TV remains. All right. Hold on. Nav TV aftermarket division is brand and asset is under new management, and the company will continue as operated. Details of the management expected to be revealed in the coming months. We can say that Fraser Ryan, vice president of Mobridge, will now also manage Navi TV brand. Tony Yakovsky, of Nav TV remains general manager. Nav TV's statement said the company will continue offering its customers the same outstanding support, service, and product quality it has always been known for. Developments of exciting new products as picked up right where they left off. Nav TV CEO said Nav TV brands has been synonymous. Yep, cutting. Okay, yeah. Okay, so basically what that means for you and I is that the secret is out of the bag. Fraser from Mobridge, which we knew, has acquired the company. And the cool thing is we do know some of the things that he's going to be doing as time moves forward. Such things as the A to B piece, as well as the Ghost, the Unicorn, the GM piece. All of these are top priorities for him. So once he gets rocking and rolling. Now, for those who don't know, Mobridge is based out of Australia. So this is going to allow him to be on both sides of the planet and create some really cool pieces. In fact, the fact that Mobridge and now Nav TV have come together, it is like a peanut butter and jelly for sure, because those are two amazing brands that make some really unique pieces for some really hard cars. Mm-hmm. So being able to integrate the German side of things with the American side of things as far as the parts that they make will be fantastic. Nav TV will still be here in Florida where they manufacture all these things. A lot of people don't know that. These aren't made in China. These are made here in Florida, which is really cool. They have a huge manufacturing facility. One of the reasons why this happened is because Nav TV has gotten into other venues, other industries, mm-hmm. Which are way more lucrative to this. So this was one of those things they just wanted to spin off because they needed to focus, over here. Like everybody, you get to a point in your career where you want to do something else. That's what happened. It's really cool. So we're super excited that Fraser's taking over. Like we said, he's a really smart guy. He has plans to do some really quick development. Also, one of the main things that rumor has it that he wants to do, unsubstantiated, I guess would be the word, is address the pricing. So I'm assuming in the next couple months, like they said, we'll understand more about the company. We'll get a list of products they're coming out with. And of course, a new pricing structure to be more competitive, because that's kind of the thing with Nav TV is that they're usually first to market with some stuff and they're expensive. And since then, a lot of new products have come out that have been, more affordable. So we'll have to see how that goes. I'm excited. Now we can at least talk about it. And a lot of stress has been relieved because there has been people that have been like, oh, Nav TV is going away. What are we going to do? Because a lot of people rely on their interfaces just because they've been integrated into how they do things. We've been using Nav TV since the name of Nav TV came about, which was back in the day, they used to make an interface that if you had a navigation system with a screen, you could RGB tap into them and put your DVD/VCR into your radio. Yeah, that's why it's called Nav TV. Nav to TV was the idea. Hopefully the name will kind of, I don't know, maybe evolve into something else, or Mobridge will just take over and call it Mobridge. But cool, that's fantastic. So thank you, Amy, for letting us know on that, because I don't want to have to wait till next week. All right, let's get back to what we were talking about. So with cars getting older, good morning, Dan. Hi, how you doing? With cars getting older, this, of course, gives us lots of opportunity for upgrade. I had a gentleman yesterday, we were talking about his 4Runner. He was interested in getting a new 4Runner, and then he went out and saw how much the new 4Runner cost, and he was like, this is ridiculous. I'm just going to upgrade my 4Runner, which is what a lot of people are doing. I mean, don't get me wrong. We still get the people that go out and buy new cars, and then they want to immediately put some audio into them. But the reality is most of the cars coming in are like, hey, I can't get a new car because I don't want to spend $100,000 on a new pickup truck. I really just like this truck. I would just wish it had some updated features. Seems to be the trend, and it is probably going to move forward. Plus, as I said, if the new used car market is just going to become our inexpensive cars and we're just not going to make any more inexpensive cars, well, then for sure, audio is going to be very important for that. Because if one thing holds true over the 30 years of me doing this, it still doesn't make sense, but car stereo is a huge portion of the automotive world. And as long as people are buying cars, they want them to sound better. It's just one of those things. I don't understand it. I don't know why it happened, but I get it, and I'm happy it is because it allows me to have a job, which is cool, right? Correct. So we had a couple guys chime in that said, we have cars for
to go up.
Okay, hold on. No, I don't know what it was. Oh yeah, 2003, 2014, 2017. So yeah. Sorry. Just do maintenance. Just do maintenance lasts forever. You're not wrong, but that's the thing though. A lot of people don't necessarily believe in doing maintenance. So Suzuki Rodeo, 2002 Suzuki Rodeo, 256,000 miles, still driving. 2020 Honda Civic hatchback, 200 miles, daily driver. Jesus, man. So the only thing, all right, so the only part of this that kind of, is that, when you look at the cars that come out now, all right, so we'll get a new car. This really had a car come in. It was a Subaru. Had a Subaru come in a couple of weeks ago. It was like an Outback, an old Outback. Beautiful condition, really nice car. And I was like, man, this is a nice car. I would like to have one of these. This is kind of cool. I like this little SUV. But then in the back of my head, I was like, this has absolutely no creature comforts of a modern car. Like none at all. No lane departure, the seats, everything is antiquated. I'm old, so in my brain, it just kind of fit in. But I was also looking at it going, this is really basic. And as somebody who doesn't like to miss out on things, I would feel bad having a 20-year-old car, not having modern, not like when you see these guys that drive these F-150s, like 1990 F-150s, and they're like, I'm gonna own this forever. It's like, yeah, but but they don't care. They don't care. They're like, I don't need all this, whiz bangy, hoo-ha, electric stuff. I'm perfectly fine rolling up and down my window, and I got my air conditioning. I'm all good. And it's like, I don't know. I guess it just comes down to what's important to you. 2016 Tundra, it will never be sold. Never be sold. It just broke in, or just broke, however you want to look at it. Honda Element. Oh, wow. Dude, you guys, I could never keep a car this long. I got to be honest with it. 2016 Chevy, this morning, looking to upgrade 2022 Tacoma used. Yeah, it's so there again, yes, you're looking to upgrade 2016. You're looking at it's used 38K. Holy crap. That's my point. But that's the new entry-level vehicle, though, right? Because it's not like you could buy a new Tacoma. A new Tacoma is going to be $50,000 for a Tacoma. No. Jonathan says, cash for clunkers killed a lot of aftermarket business back in the day. I'm glad these older vehicles are holding around. As you would be, because your company, Metra, allows you to, make cool parts for these things, which thank God, right? I mean, and they sometimes listen and make the stuff we want them to make, which is really nice. Yeah. So, but no, it's weird, but it's just what it is. I had a Ford, hold on. Mustang with exhaust sounds the same from blocks away. Dude, ain't that the truth, man? You can pick out a Mustang. It's like, oh, that's a Mustang. My 100, Jesus. You got a 4Runner. Dude, it's funny because you say 2004 Runner and you just don't think it's that old, realizing it's a 24-year-old car. It's just crazy. Because, here's the thing you have to remember. When I started working here, the 57 Chevy was the iconic car. I got a 57 Chevy. I got a 72 Impala. And it's this was, late 80s, early 90s. Oh my God, that car's so old. Not anymore. That's a 24-year-old car. And we still think of it as a really nice car. I have a 1999 Classic Cherokee. There you go. Dude, I cannot tell you how many Cherokees I've worked on. I'm honestly surprised that car's on the road because that car was scary back then. But yeah, 2018 Outback. Dude, that's a fantastic, I'm talking a 99 Outback was really cool. But Dakota, dash cams have done lane departure and other items. And that's the thing. We can now upgrade these things to really nice. And the other thing too is, I think that these new cars are just getting a little out of control when it comes to the dude, $50,000 for a basic car. When I bought my brand new Mitsubishi Eclipse, it cost me $11,000. Dude, and I rocked that thing till the wheels fell off, till I bought a Honda Accord. Even my brand new Honda Accord was only, was $28,000. So not even, the Civic used to be an affordable car. That was literally why they made it. The Civic was a car, and you had the Chevy Cavalier, you had the Toyota Corolla. These are all cars that, I don't know why these things have to be so much. I can't imagine the technology that's in these cars is really that amount of money. I know there's a ton of DOT regulations that get put into these things. But I'm pretty sure once you figured it out, I mean, is all of the reason why cars are expensive because we have to pay for the healthcare workers for the healthcare for these workers and the retirement funds? Is that what's killing it? I don't know. I'm not into that. Geo Metro, baby. Ooh, yeah. You know who used to have a Geo Metro? Bill Bauer.
Really?
That was when he first came to work with us. He had a Geo Metro. This guy was 6'3", 360 pounds, had a Geo Metro. Bro, when he got into that car, that whole car moved. Like, it was just like, whoa. And he put a wall in that thing. He used to deliver pizzas for Hungry Howie's.
Nice.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But anyways, guys, hey, it's Friday. That's the news. You know now all the fun that is coming up. And as we said at the top of the show, don't forget, next month, if you're in Alabama and you want to come see us on the 12th, we'll be there at the Iasca World Finals. Or coming right behind it, 2 more events. SEMA will be there with Rockford Fosgate. And, of course, Dino's Get Down in Arizona the week after. I'll be there with Haley. Fernando's staying home so we can see his kid after being gone for a week. Definitely a fatherly move. I'm taking my kid with me. She's not a kid. She's, like, old now. Anyway, she got gray hair. Anyways, she doesn't. So plenty of opportunity to come hang out here in the future. It's going to be one heck of the end of the year is looking great, guys. Lots of new products still to come. Lots of news to happen. You guys have a great day. Make sure to head over to Instagram later today and see what's happening in the Bay. See ya.